So I'm going to talk about this here. This is book number 2 in the Rich Dad series. The book is called the Cashflow Quadrant. And people say this book changed their lives when they read that book. So if you're happy just being an employee or self-employed, fine. But most people want to shift over to the B and the I side. So I'm going to talk about that today. Again, it's book number 2 in the Rich Dad series. So when I was a kid, my mom and dad kept pressuring me to be this, but I always wanted to move over here. I doesn't mean investor. It means inside investor. When you're an inside investor, can't spell. Over here, this is the capitalist side. So I always want to be on the inside of a deal. I put the deal together. When Kenny and I put our apartment house together, we put the business. Back in 1996, my wife and I created the Cashflow board game over here so people could move from here to here. Now, you want to stay on this side, go to school, get your MBA, and learn nothing. When I was in my MBA program, I had to crack up. The guy teaching me accounting was a good technical accountant, but he didn't know this stuff. He just knew where to put the numbers. That was about it. But he had no business sense because he was an employee type. So I learned nothing in accounting school, in my MBA program. The question is, what do you have to do to come here? What's the difference? And this is the difference here. This is book number 3 in the Rich Dad series called Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. So this is Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. This is inside here. And so when I was a kid, this is what my rich dad was teaching me. My poor dad was saying, go to school, be an employee. And my mother wanted to be a doctor. So the difference between E's and S's and B's and I's is the BI triangle, is that the entrepreneur has to be a good leader, put together a team and a mission. So the mission of the Rich Dad Company is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity. When I joined the Marine Corps, first word was mission. When I went to military school, was mission. Then the difference between E's and S's and B's and I's is E's and S's are the product. In other words, if you're a doctor, you're the product. You don't need anything else, But when I design a product to become an asset, so I designed the Cashflow board game. We had to patent the board game took an attorney. And then we had to figure out, well, how do we get this thing through the systems? What system we're going to use? So entrepreneurs oftentimes build systems. That's what Jeff Bezos did and those guys. They built Amazon. It's a system. Or you look at Uber, it's a system. Or Airbnb, it's a system. And then you have to be a good communicator. This is called sales and marketing, and that produces cash flow. So the difference between E's and S's and B's and I's, B's and I's have to be this side. E's and S's are oftentimes one of these people. So I hire S attorneys. I hire people who can put me into book system. My books go throughout the world via Amazon and bookstores all throughout the world. We have thousands of people working for us. I have to be a pretty good communicator. That's why I said when I came out of the Marine Corps, my rich dad said to me, you have to have skills. The average person, the average employee cannot sell. That's the problem. If you cannot sell, there's no money. So that's why when I came out of the Marine Corps, I went to work for Xerox Corporation, not because I liked Xerox machines, but they had a good sales training program. I recommend people go to network marketing businesses. They'll teach you how to sell. What you learn in network marketing is how to handle rejection and the courage to overcome it. So this is crucial to this. So when I meet poor people, generally employees, high-paid employees, they can't do this here. They cannot sell, they cannot raise capital, and they're poor. And that affects us here. So once again, this makes an asset here. What's the mission? My board game was to elevate the financial well-being of humanity. I'm the entrepreneur. I have a team. We built a product. I have attorneys pumped through systems throughout the world. It has to be able to communicate and sell and all this, and that provides cash flow. But once again, the reason most people are poor, they're employees. They cannot sell and they cannot raise capital. So that's why I recommend network marketing, so you learn how to overcome fear of rejection and all this and refine your communication skills. This is huge. More important than a legal degree. So for those who want to shift over to the B and the I side, that's what it takes. And that's what the cash flow game was designed to do, was get your mind to migrate over here. I don't want to be an S. I don't want to be an E, but I did want to be a capitalist. And that's what we teach. So we just created this board game in 1996. The problem was, it was hard for people to understand what this game was about. So that's when in 1997, I wrote this book here, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So I'm in this little series here to explain why games awaken your financial genius. Like I learned about money playing Monopoly. My poor dad was a school teacher. So you've got to get good grades, get a good job. And my rich dad was my best friend's father, says you won't get rich working for money. So I don't understand that, because as kids, we're programmed to go to school and get a job, to work for money. He says the rich don't work for money. And so that was kind of the start of it. So my rich dad, when I was 10 years old, started teaching his son, who was my best friend. We're 10 years old, growing up in Hawaii, and we're playing Monopoly. So the deal was with my rich dad, I had to work for him for free, and he would teach me to be rich. So I go to he owned hotels and he owned convenience stores and did a lot of little businesses. So I go to my rich dad, I'd pick up cigarette butts around his place, rake his lawn, paint things, We're just 10 years old. We did simple jobs. And then my rich dad says, okay, I'm not going to pay you. Now my poor dad, who was a school teacher, went nuts. You can't not pay somebody. You have to pay people. And that's when I learned the rule number one from my rich dad: the rich don't work for money. And that was it was a change in my mindset. So rich dad says, I will teach you how to be a rich man playing Monopoly. So we go down there about once or twice a week. We'd work for about an hour, and then rich dad would break out his game of Monopoly, and he'd teach us to be rich people. And we all know the formula for Monopoly is 4 green houses, red hotel. So I asked my rich dad, I said, is that what you do in real life? He goes, yeah. We were sitting in his hotel. I couldn't see it because all I was programmed to do was go to school, get good grades, get a job, save money, get out of debt. You don't get rich that way. So we play Monopoly, and today I own the hotel we're on right now. I own hotels on that side. I own hotels in the mountains. I own 15,000 rental units. All I'm doing in real life is playing Monopoly. So that's how you get rich too, because games are your best teacher. Think about this. Could you imagine trying to learn to play golf without a golf club or without golf balls? Well, that's what school is trying to tell you to do. Schools tell you like this. They sit there. Well, let me tell you about the moving averages. Let me talk to you about this. That. You don't learn anything. It's like saying, well, you should learn how to putt a ball straight. How do I putt a ball straight? You get a putter and you putt. Look at Tiger Woods. If he had a golf club in his hand, I think starting at 7, he wouldn't be the greatest golfer on earth. But what our stupid school systems are trying to do is teach you to play golf without a golf club, without a golf ball, without a golf course. They want to do it like this, talking. Fuck you! Talk. I sit in school going, that's why people are not rich. They learn from talking heads. YouTube's filled with them. I call them the chihuahuas. They all the details. Well, today, this poop, this. Just tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. But they can't tell you what to do because all they do is talk. So what makes Rich Dad, our organization, different than all organizations? We're the only ones with a game. This is like playing golf in real life. This is like playing the money game in real life. And that's what makes Rich Dad different. This game was designed to have you awaken your financial genius. It's a pretty hard game. It's a lot harder than Monopoly. So once again, this here is the game board for the Cashflow board game. If you notice, there's 2 tracks. There's the fast track on the outside and the rat race in the middle. That's where the rat's in the middle. And most people go to school and become rats. They just run around this little circle all their lives, putting their money into a 401k or stocks or bonds and mutual funds. I don't do any of that stuff. But this here is the real trick of the Cashflow board game. This is called a financial statement. This is income statement, balance sheet, statement of cash flow. This is called financial risk. And the thing that makes the cash flow game so powerful is as you're playing this game on this game board, this is your real game board. Now, I wish I could say it was easy, but if you can't add and subtract, because all it's going to take is add and subtraction, you don't need calculus and other stuff they teach you at school.